Welcome to the Reloading Podcast here on the Firearms Radio Network, presented by Primary Arms. We're back to torture you some more. And to start off the torture of the new year, 2023 properly, we brought Sharp along. Suckers. Anyway, so I hope everybody's holidays were good and Santa was good to you, or whatever sort of imaginary deity you think that brings you stuff that keeps your your significant other from getting mad at you. So
better 3/4, yeah.
Yep.
Well, that's why under the Christmas tree, Mike, you put from Santa. So if you're like your niece and nephew or your kids are there, you leave it on your wife to explain why that rifle showed up to you from Santa. Let her break that one to her.
Yep. Exactly. So, what did everybody get for Christmas?
I'll jump in. You go, Nick.
I didn't really. I got one thing reloading related. My RCBS Case Prep Center.
Nice.
So that was the main reloading thing. Other than that, I got a lot of historical stuff. First thing I'm wearing one of them right now is the World War I German Prussian field cap. I got a World War II M40 German helmet.
Only slightly used.
Yeah, well, it's from the 40s. So, and then a lot of books.
You can read.
I can read. Yeah, actually, if it's historical, I will read it. Any other thing else? Really, no.
Right.
I got a signed copy of the Ian McCollum Gun Jesus, his French military firearms, and then I had one of them here. Oh, of course.
Which he just opened, by the way, before the show.
It's a 2-part series. So these are written by a gentleman named Eric Dorr and Jared Frederick. They're about you got this one's about Ronald Spears, and then the other one's about Dick Winters, and it's about their service through the war and everything. It's got photos from the museum, the Gettysburg Museum of History there in Gettysburg. I'm actually quite a bit ways through the Lieutenant Winters one. They are very good. That's a very good book so far, and so I'm excited to finish those. So.
Ooh, Idaho Rogers got a new chainsaw. Pretty fancy.
Hey, Nick, you being a historical kid, have you read the book We Were Soldiers?
I have not. I've listened to a lot of parts of it. It's on my to-read list.
Definitely worth a read. I've met Sergeant Savage. I've met Sergeant Major Plumley and Colonel Moore.
Okay. I might do the audio version on that because I've heard the audio book is incredible for that one.
Yeah.
So that one might be the audio book.
Also, obviously, I'm a little partial because that's one of the units I served in. So, but definitely worth the read. It's pretty decent to see what they've went through and their takes on stuff.
Yeah, all I got was a couple gunslings.
Oh, we can show this off.
Yeah, and I also got a bottle of this. I don't know if you know.
If anybody wants something kind of cool for just a display shelf, I don't know how many they have left, but Ballistol was running a limited edition bottle from the, I think, World War I era. They're one of their original designs. So
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's only like $15.
Nice.
So we each got one.
Yeah, I got some books myself. I got the 2-part set on the G41 and G43. Got that. That's out of print, and that's one of the things I wanted. And I didn't get a whole awful lot. Didn't really want much. And
that book series, that was an expensive book set.
So other than that way, when I see something later this year, and the wife will say, "Go ahead and get it." So. Like I said, she talks me into more guns than I talk myself into. So
That's always good.
Yeah.
How about you, Paul?
Way to go. I got my Wiser in, which is an extension for the magneto speed. Fits on a Picatinny rail on the stock, and then holds the magneto speed up here, and it's adjustable. Geez, every just way you want, in, out, up, down, left, right. It not bad. It's all carbon fiber and aluminum.
Oh, nice.
So once I get back, I will start putting it to use.
Yep. How long is that time frame looking?
Well, next week I have I have some testing that I have to go through. The MRIs and the ultrasound and stuff like that to see where I'm at, and then the last thing I have to do is a stress test. So
The dreaded stress test.
yeah,
Did you do the chemical or the actual?
I've done both.
Yeah.
And they're just guesses anyway.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not like you're
Basically, it's if you survive the stress test, it's okay.
right.
If they have to get the defib out, then well,
Yeah, they stink. Trust me, they stink.
I just rather have them do an angiogram and be done with it, because it's it's right.
Yeah.
They can see if there's any more problems.
Right.
But MRI will tell a lot, and the ultrasound will tell too. See if there's any. Worried about building up fluid around my lungs.
That's not fun.
No.
Paul Loud's in good form tonight.
Yep.
He said for Paul's stress tests, they're going to drop a sleeve of primers on the floor.
No. No, but Paul, you're gonna send me your 45 so I can fix it for you.
There you go.
Yeah. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just take the slide off of it, take the two pieces, throw it away, and tell you to go buy a new one, a real gun instead of that Smith & Wesson.
That sounds like a fantastic idea.
That's good. Ship it out tomorrow. Chris, you're next.
All right. Well, I finally got pretty much the rest of the stuff I did on Black Friday orders came in, but I forgot I left my Brownells page with my wish list up. My wife was nice enough to go through it and order a bunch of stuff. Also left a few of the accounts up for distributorship. So I got a bunch of case check gauges for damn near everything. 308, 6.5, 6R, PRC.
Nice.
So those came in. I totally forgotten stocking stuffers. She didn't even wrap it. She bought me a scope. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't fancy as one of the Strike Eagles, but hey, I'll take it. She apparently, her and my sister-in-law got together. Brother-in-law wanted a scope, so they were asking me, what did he want? And I was like, he was talking Strike Eagle because of Walking Terps. It's in his budget. Apparently, I got the same thing, but mine's in Mills. His is in MOA, so it worked out. And then she ordered my, see if I can do this without showing the entire rifle so we don't get in trouble, is the scope mount from American Rifle Company. It's their Embrace. Different type. It actually clamps around instead of the actual normal screws. This is actually a 20 MOA base. They make them, I believe, up to 60 MOA. It's more for your EOR. So I was like, okay, I'll play around with that. That's pretty cool. She's got the scope. She ordered me the brace too. And then obviously got my Armor Off stuff in. But then I actually picked up myself a stocking stuffer, a little cheap thing off Amazon for mounting all your for $5.50.
Oh,
Nice.
Nice.
It was like $30, I think it was, something like that. But you can put all your pins in, everything for your holds 3 heads. I was like, yeah, we'll see how it goes. I don't really need something fancy to mount all this stuff. So
There you go.
that's pretty much what I got for Christmas. Yeah. And of course, I got a new rifle from the 17 HMR or the B17.
Yeah.
Nice. You cleaned up.
Yeah. Well, in theory, too, if you really want to get, because the wife expressed she wants to go hunting with me next year. She got a rifle. I got a scope for her. Sarah cut it to match the rifle as close as I could. Do this because you're never going to truly match the rifle, but that was close as I could get to coating it for. Then, of course, I had to get her reloading dies for that rifle, even though I know I'm going to be doing that. Brass for her rifle. So it was a 2-for-1. She got her stuff. I get to play with more toys.
There you go.
Yeah, nice. Mike, what about you?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Oh.
Kids didn't even get you anything?
Nope. Somebody sent me a pub pass though.
Uh-oh. Okay.
So for those of you who don't know what a pub pass is it's like a little passport book, and you go around to local bars and you get to try a free beer at all these different bars. But I have no idea who sent it to me. So whoever sent it, thank you very much. But yeah, the wife and I are going to get something for each other, but we're going to wait till we get tax returns to do that. So
Understandable. So we have 4 people going to the SHOT Show that right now, right?
Yep.
And 3 of them are here.
Yes. That would be Nick and Ray, Chris, and then Sharenda.
So the only one that's going to walk out of that place with anything is going to be Sharenda.
probably.
They're just probably going to pack up the SHOT Show and send it to her.
I know I'm bringing a large suitcase, and it's not for myself. It's for Serinda to have shit back.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So does anybody that is listening to us or watching us tonight have any requests for these guys to find?
Take notes.
Bueller.
Paul Lau has a request for Nick.
Yeah.
We're looking for his sister Brandy this year.
He found out that he needs 2.
Oh my goodness.
I know one of the places that was on, I know I'd kind of mentioned, I've heard rumors about Forster coming out with a new version of their coax. I kind of saw, I don't know if it was a Skunkworks photo, but it looks like a CNC version. And then their latest posting they had somebody had mentioned, do you have an ELR version? And they kind of gave that little smirk little emoji, and the clock is like, basically you'll have to wait for SHOT and see what's coming out. So it's kind of leaning from what you've been hearing. So I definitely want to hit that up because I know that's going to be an interest for a lot of people. And then, of course, what you messaged me, Paul, was something that what Nick saw last year is I want to hit Arrow up, be like, where's your bolt action?
Right.
It was supposed to be out this year. Your suppressors are out, and the pricing on the suppressors are actually lower than I thought.
Yeah.
A lot
When
lower.
when you sent me that, Chris, I'm like, wait, what?
I mean, I put all three in my dealer stuff, and at dealer price, without getting specific, I could get all three for under $1,500 at dealer price.
Wow.
Yeah, it's incredible.
And you look at retail, they have minimum advertised pricing on each one, which I was showing Nick. And that minimum advertised pricing, which is what I would sell them for, and most people are probably, they're affordable for what they are. It's like, okay. So that kind of gives me hope of what their bolt action, when they finally release it, it will be that builder budget friendly type thing.
That's what we're hoping for.
Yeah.
We have not, have not seen anything. So, anyhow.
So I'm wondering if they're going to be at range date. So I'm looking at now. I would more than likely think Arrow's going to be there. Yep, Arrow Precision will be there. They're going to be S.
They'll probably have their suppressors out there again. I would assume where they've got those suppressors released now, they may have thrown again, if they're looking at their bolts, they might have a few bolt action rifles put together to kind of play with.
I'm trying to remember back last year.
They had 3 last year.
Yeah, they had them on the floor. I know that.
Yeah. They had 3 out on the floor last year, and they had their suppressors mounted on all 3 of them. So I just wondered where, if we're ever going to see them, or am I going to just, I don't know. Okay. Water over the dam. Next, anybody else? No, Chris Sharp, affordable. Okay.
I have 2 affordables, Paul Loud. I have my taste affordable, which I will splurge on a few nicer things, but I also like to have options for not just myself, but other people, because, not everybody can go out and buy a 338 Lapua Thunder Beast suppressor. So you got to have options because you got to be able to work within what your budget. For what I'm seeing at pricing on those suppressors, I definitely want to pick some up for myself just because they are very, very budget friendly. And according to their stuff, they meter well. Sound suppression's good from the K version all the way up to the long.
So they had those suppressors at range day last year, Chris. I don't remember shooting it. Not necessarily saying I didn't shoot it. I probably did because I shot so much stuff at range day. I think they had their bolt gun at range day too, but don't quote me on that. I would imagine the bolt gun will be at range day this year for sure.
Wasn't that straight pull AR?
No, that was the Bushmaster.
Was it? Okay.
I think. As Mike, we shot too much stuff last year.
60-degree bolt throw.
Okay.
That was supposed to be put it in the affordable price range.
I think receiver was right around 1,000, if I remember right.
It was going to be under 1,000 is what they were telling us. Okay. Which there's a lot of receivers at the $1,000 mark.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that, you take
for that price, you can just buy a Savage, one of their Axis 2 Precisions, and rebarrel this stupid thing to whatever you want.
Well, kind of. You true it up and everything else. By the time you get done getting things straight.
No, I'm talking one of their precision rifles.
Oh, okay.
Like what Sharenda got.
Okay. You still got to true it up.
So
They're getting better. Okay. I mean,
yeah,
everything, but we're talking about a small production run, very tightly controlled CNC machined receiver versus, um, you know, hey, that's we're gonna run 500 of them this week, okay, from Savage. That's where we get.
So, speaking of expensive stuff there, Paul, I showed my wife that CNC lathe and what it costs. She's wondering when you're going to purchase it for me for that price.
Okay, well, I haven't got the list of extras yet from you. With the tool holders and the and all the other things that we need to get. But then I expect all my actions to be rebarrel without a problem.
Hey, if you're buying that lathe, I'll barrel and true anything you want all day, all night, as long as I'm not making that payment on the lathe.
It's under $1,000 a month. What can I tell you?
I tell you, one manufacturer I'm wanting to stop by is Fiocchi. After hearing their plans this past fall about setting up the new primer manufacturing in Arkansas, see, they're supposed to break ground this year and start construction. I'd like to talk to them about that and see how things are going and get an update.
We have three companies that are out there that are supposedly broke ground and moving in that direction, and I haven't heard a lot. I hear that what is that Grenex or whatever has brought a large shipment into the United States.
Oh, the Genex.
Genex, yeah.
We haven't been getting those from Mid-South.
I've had a little bit of issues with mine with it. Well, don't quote me on that.
No,
we ran into an
we
issue
solved
with.
that
We
problem.
solved that issue. Scratch that.
Okay.
please disregard the previous statement.
Yes. But
He didn't have his primer thing adjusted right.
Yeah.
Way to go.
What primer thing?
So the little cups on the RCBS, I didn't
Yeah.
have them tightened all the way down.
The bench primer thing.
So
Bench primer thing. Okay.
once I got them tightened all the way down, that solved
Works
the
fine.
issue. So
Dad had to solve that problem.
that's what you're there for.
That's right.
Dad, fick it, Dad.
But
Wait, there's a new person here. Who is that? It's a new year.
That's Santa, and he
I'm not
looks
a new
well
person.
rested.
Yeah, really.
Not a
Really.
new person.
Well, it's a new year. You're the last guy here. I mean, what the heck? You're a new person.
Same old ornery bastard always am. Oh, has anybody gotten their stickers from Patriot Patchco?
Yes.
Nope.
I do.
Yep. And you're going to make noise opening them.
Oh, geez. Abominable. I love it.
Here, I'll show everybody what it actually looks like when it's not in plastic.
You might try turning it upside down.
Turn it around.
I did turn it upside down.
Yeah, well, turn it right
How
side
about I
up.
turn it right side up?
There you go. There you go. Oh, hell, I'm not even on screen right now. Paul's
No,
got
you're
it. Chris has got his up.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
Well, this sticker is not in. Oh, shit.
might want to put it. Hey there.
What a dickhead.
Suck it, Jim.
Yeah. You'll have that shit.
That's karma biting you.
People
with
can
the
definitely see
saggy
the sticker,
balls.
Jim, better when you actually turn it around so they can see it.
See, that is karma biting Jim and his saggy balls.
Kiss my ass, Chris Sharp, you rascal. What a dumb shit. But anyway,
So, anything
I'm-
you want them to see at the SHOT Show, Jim?
not particularly. I
Oh,
wish I could go,
Okay.
but they don't let unless I had an FFL business per se. My wife, yeah, I know, it's not worth it. Go ahead, Chris.
You
You
could
were
go
going
as
to
part
say.
of the media for the podcast, Jim.
I know that, but I can't bring the wife along.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's true.
That's why I need the FFL business.
Well, next year I'll add you guys to the business as employees, and
There
you
you
can go under the FFL.
Right.
Does she really want to go to the show, or does she just want to go to Vegas?
go?
Well, see, I think he wants to make sure she can go to the show so he can keep an eye on her because he doesn't want her to go to all the shops. Remember, they've got a Tiffany's out there.
Oh my God. They also have Shields too.
They got everything out there.
That Ornery Rascal up there in Idaho, Jason Trumbo, he's not too far from. He's a tad further away than he was from Reno.
Hey, Paul.
Yeah.
Axis 2 maintains the bones of the Model 110. It uses a floating boat head that keeps the lugs in alignment with receiver. The lugs are lapped to the receiver as part of the new factory blueprinting process.
Well,
So that one that Sharunda got.
okay.
So there you go.
Okay.
So like I said, grab that and rebarrel it. Away you go. So, but they have it in quite a few cartridges. It comes in 223, 243, 270, 30-6, 308, and 65. Need more. Okay, Jim, sorry to interrupt, but back to you.
I was just going to say, I don't think Paul owns a Savage.
No, it was a conversation we started before you popped on. So, but the internet's slow. Anyway, so what'd you get for Christmas, Jim?
I made a decision to sell that rifle.
That your Christmas present to yourself is selling the rifle?
Yep.
Which rifle are you going to replace it with when you get the money?
Well, I'd sure like to have a 7 rum with about 30-inch barrel, 30-inch heavy barrel, not a bull barrel, a heavy barrel. Only thing bad about that is I also happen to know what a barrel burner is. The rum is worse than the Swiss silver.
So what?
What are you going to do with it?
Reach out and touch.
Okay.
There's a couple ranges around here that have a couple ranges within 2 hours that have 1,000-yard ranges.
Why don't you just use your 280 Ackley improved?
I could do that too.
There you go. And then buy something you could actually carry instead. Because you're going to need a crew.
Kiss
to
my
carry
foot,
that.
Michael.
I
Go
hear
ahead,
30-inch
Paul Loud's got a
barrel.
great Smith & Wesson that's going to be up for sale.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Paul Loud, I'll give you $5 for it right now.
I'll give him 4.
So 284 win says you get a 7 PRC.
Yeah. Some fool has a comment. He wants to know how the recoil log is mounted in the Savage.
I don't know. I'd have to look that up. So I close that window.
Well, Paul?
It has basically on the receiver on those recoil lugs, it's got a little tip, if you will. It kind of locks into the receiver, but it's actually not milled into it. It's adjacent to it. You place it on top receiver.
In other words, it's got a lug down in there
Yeah.
to hold the not a teat, okay, that fits in for the lug to put onto the receiver, and then you work it from there. You screw your barrel in, screw your barrel nut onto it, and the barrel nut tightens up against the lug and goes that way.
Yeah, and you just use heads no go gauges to head
Right.
space it to make sure it works. It's all
Yeah.
set up properly.
So it's pretty simple to change everything out. You can get and buy better ones that are machined and bigger, thicker, whatever, and go that way.
I think because of that, Savages are pretty easy to rebarrel, aren't they? I mean,
Oh yeah,
I thought.
yeah, but you can do the same thing with any other one that if you're going to do a barrel nut.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay,
you got
so
the remages and
right,
how you can convert over to barrel nut too, and
any action you can convert over to a barrel nut. Okay.
Yep.
So all it is just longer threads on the barrel, and you get a barrel nut that would go on. Then you would put your go gauge in, close your bolt, screw the barrel into it, tighten up your barrel nut, and that's it. So you don't have to put a shoulder onto a barrel or anything else like that with a barrel nut.
And I take it those are barrels that aren't cut for an extractor groove.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. In other words, a Mauser, you're not gonna do it.
Right.
A Ruger,
Springfield.
Springfield, or what do you call it? The America.
Yeah. So that's a conical bolt face or a conical chamber face, I guess.
You can get it at any way. It doesn't matter. You know, with a conical bolt face, you have the ability to actually cut the chamber to the go gauge, and then you
Okay.
just screw it on and go that way. There's a little bit of distance in between there, very, very, very fine distance for your headspace, and that's it. But yeah, if this, Savage with the floating bolt face, it's a different way to go. That's their advantage when they're putting a barrel together and an action. So, and a lot of actions are still built with having the lug actually machined into the receiver, just like Winchester does. So there you go.
Oh, Big Al, you're awesome.
yeah. So this one's machined into it as well.
Yep.
So
Yep.
Mhm.
that's one of the benefits when you step up from a factory action to a actual custom action. The tolerances are so tight you can get prefits like with this American rifle. It's a shouldered prefit. You don't have to worry about a barrel nut or anything. They're so tight on tolerance, so you can actually have your prefit head spaced properly.
Yeah.
It will be interesting to see if the turnout for exhibitors is better than it was last year. Got a lot of big name people that weren't there, and
Down
already. Really?
already. Yes.
Well, they say
yeah.
everything's. They say the show floor sold out. That's what
Yeah,
they're
but
saying.
remember they were sold last year and they weren't there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I think too, Nick, so we've kind of discussed there a week or two. A lot of your vendors keep their floor space because they don't want to lose that premium space if they decide to come back, and it's just cheaper to have somebody put the sign up. Oh, sorry, we missed you.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I hear less. That's what I'm.
I've heard the same thing.
you know, I was talking with Bartland the other day, and they're not going. And he was saying that there are a bunch of custom people that aren't going.
It doesn't make sense anymore. Because in today's business world, they're not doing what SHOT Show originally was for, which was business. So, I mean, nowadays, most of your contracts and stuff are done well before, you know. So,
Well,
and,
the other
and
thing is,
not a lot of people do product release at SHOT Show anymore either.
the other thing too about it is we have so much internet exposure out there that it's a whole hell of a lot cheaper to release a product online than it is to attend a SHOT Show.
Well, I know just I'm pretty sure Nick and Ray have probably seen this in just the last week. As we get, we're basically a week out from SHOT. My emails have been flooded with all the vendors going, "Oh, look at this new release! Come by our booth, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at SHOT to get hands on." And it's like, okay, well, I mean, it helps us because now we can go, oh, well, we need to swing over by this to really get hands on. So, we can either say, yeah, looks like it's going to be a really good product, or let's wait and see.
Yep.
You're going to find more and more of that going on. Well, you're also going to find a lot of the people on the downstairs that are going with the new ideas that are going to be there because they can finally get in and not have to be out in the hallway.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's what Nick and Ray were kind of telling me when myself and Shrinder were all discussing is those small mom and pops that are on that in the basement is really where you want to go because it's the people that are trying to get that name out, trying to do the innovative stuff. It's not just the normal run of the mill. Yep. A Glock. We're on Gen 6. It's the same thing as a Gen 4.
Right.
You change the color.
And that's and I've been on some other shows talking about SHOT and everything, and that's where you're going to get. They're going to want to talk to you a lot more than say your Glock or your Smith and Wesson because it's a new product from a newer company. They want to get their name out there, so the more they can push to get their name out there, the better. So, but like last year especially, I'd say we spent easy a day and a half down in the basement,
right?
Because you're seeing most of your newer stuff, your more ingenuity is in the basement. So.
A lot of times they're accessories or tools or gear. Let's face it, a modern striker fire pistol, they're pretty much all the same. I mean, there ain't a whole lot different.
Staple gun is a staple gun.
Yeah, that's it.
The gun I am interested in this year, I don't know if anybody else has seen it, is the Bullpup revolver.
No.
So it's a company out of Turkey. What was that called? I saw it earlier. What are they calling it?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
I showed you it the other day.
A handgun with a stock, right?
No, it's an actual. Let me see if I can find it.
It reminds me of that. What was that one revolver company?
Zinc?
Rhino?
Yeah, that Zinc.
One at a time, guys.
Oh, all right.
Let's see if I can find a photo of it.
Ray, say it again, please.
It reminded me a lot of that revolver you saw a few years back called the Rhino.
No, it's not even close to Chiapa Rhino.
It looks similar to me. I mean, I'm not saying it works the same.
Okay. Chris, you were saying?
I found it. It's the Zinc RZMK 357 bullpup revolver.
Come on, fellow.
Wow, looks like a semi-automatic revolver. And I see what Ray's talking about. It does remind me of the Chopper Rhino.
But yeah, supposedly inside that there's a completely enclosed cylinder. 357. I don't know how they're completely enclosing a cylinder. You would think you'd want your gas to release, but I don't know. It'll be interesting.
What the end of the barrel's for?
Yeah, but
am I right?
That's why the Colt revolving rifle failed. So
sorry, Ray's right. That's what
Yeah.
the end of the barrel is for. And Nick, there have been several methods of sealing up the forcing cone, the barrel cylinder gap. Not to mention, a cone, male and female cone. Like putting a taper into a female taper.
You're in a gaunt revolver, is that why?
Yes.
That's a gas seal, though.
Thank you.
That's gas.
That's true.
The round's completely meant for that, though.
You're right.
It wouldn't work. It's not like a standard 357 where the bullet protrudes out the end of the case. It's inside the case.
You're right.
So
Well, it sounds like a 357 SIG then.
No.
no, the Gaunt revolver is the round itself is completely
Within the case.
the bullet is completely within the case.
Oh, I
Right.
didn't know. Okay.
Yeah. So it's a completely different method of operation.
Oh, yeah.
And
It's-
the cylinder comes into it
And
and
contacts. Yep.
contacts the barrel, and then the cartridge
Yeah.
seals.
It'll still be interesting to see it.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like it. It's of course new ingenuity, so it just to see. Of course, that's probably going to be one of the busiest booths at the show, but it'll
Why?
be interesting.
Why? I don't think it'll be that.
Okay.
I don't think it'll be that big of a deal. They can,
Oh, jeez.
what?
The Ken Brown's comment about the Glock Gen 6. Even though I'm hearing the Gen 6 is going to be closer to like a SIG 320 with the interchangeable modules and
Oh, so you just pull that module out and that's the actual
that's what I've been hearing rumors. Is the
serialized
Gen 6.
firearm
Yeah.
version.
There's a picture of that revolver you guys were talking about.
It's so interesting.
If I remember right, didn't we see a picture when the rock kind of got a
So it's a brake top.
brake top
Yep.
and it's got a clamshell that comes around the cylinder?
They probably have a photo on the website.
Mike, let me put that on full screen.
Dooby-dooby-doo.
Nothing's happening.
It's slowly loading. I'm trying to load the 360 view.
Well, there's a nice view of the cylinder.
Yeah.
Nick, didn't you say that cylinder was completely enclosed?
It's supposed to be. It looks like it is there in the front.
Looks like something that size might be even a 5-shot revolver.
So it opens up. So they're right behind the back. There's two little levers you pull down, and
Yeah,
the
I
action
see.
breaks up. So
Okay.
it's interesting. There he goes. There we go. Oh, they had it there.
There we
So
go.
the whole top
Okay.
flips
Okay.
open.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the old what was it, Paul 22 jet,
Yeah.
Beretta 22 jet, something like that.
Hey, Mike, if you look in the private chat, okay, I was going to say, I just linked the firearm blog that gives you all the actual pictures. that kind of show.
Interesting. Thanks, Chris.
The gyrojet, weren't you? Isn't that what you were thinking of, Jim?
Not quite, but I know what you're talking about. The little 22 jet where the barrel tipped open.
Okay.
Are they going to be at range day? That'd be interesting to shoot.
I don't know if they're gonna have a working model though.
Oh,
I
you
think it's a 3D
prototype?
printed. I think. What's this? Scenic.
Okay.
Looks like it's a 6-shot.
Right there. Right in the second
Zenith.
one.
Different company.
Oh, it's different. Okay.
Yeah, it looks like it'll be a 6-shot.
Beretta Tomcat's what you're thinking about,
Thank
Jim.
you. Thank you.
It's a magazine fed, but you tip the barrel open, drop your first round in, and then
Right, that's the one. Thank you, Paul Loud. Appreciate it.
I knew which one you were talking about. I couldn't remember the stupid name of it, even though I sell one probably once a month.
Really?
Oh, yeah. They still make them. 22, 32. I think that's the only two. I usually sell, people come in looking for them in the 22.
25 too. They have it.
Ooh.
Well,
That'd be a
mean-
cartridge that I would love to reload. 25 auto
why not?
with these meat hooks.
Tweezers.
Well, we just have to set you up with a case feeder and a bullet feeder. That's all.
Jonathan Whitney, where you at? You paying attention? You got Paul, you're terrible.
Yeah.
Anyway, Paul Loud, thank you for the info about the Beretta Tomcat. That was the one I'm thinking of. Tip open the barrel from the rear to load the first round. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So, stop by the High Point booth and ask him when the Gen 2 C9's coming out.
I know they're going to have the new 10 mil at SHOT for sure. Supposedly that's already shipped. So.
Yep.
And a carbine, that'd be sweet.
Oh no, handgun.
No, they've been making the 10 mil in a carbine for a couple of years now.
Years, yeah.
This is a 10 mil handgun
with a threaded barrel.
Yes,
which is rare to happen for a 10 mil. Even though we can't own high points in Illinois.
You can't own high points?
Nope. The melting point law.
I've had a high point in my hands.
Well, hey, Mike, it doesn't surprise me in Illinois because my father-in-law lives in Washington State. He cannot buy a Ruger 1022 outside of state because their governor actually had it classified as an assault weapon. So he has to buy it in state. There's an additional wait period and an additional, I think, $30 fee, he said. Exactly.
You can't buy a new one. You can buy a used one, but I mean.
Oh, High Point? Yeah.
Yeah. Can't. What is the other one? Pistol can't buy Heritage.
Heritage Rough Riders.
What?
That's a revolver.
Something to do with the melting.
The melting point.
They think we're going to shoot somebody and burn the pistol up or something.
Well, that's why it got implemented. Somebody did shoot somebody and melted the gun away.
That's what God made rivers for.
That's what God made rivers.
That's what Lake Michigan's for.
That's right.
You don't want to throw it in Chicago River because you don't know what sort of sediment you're going to disturb on the bottom.
Yeah.
My wife came after me to buy her single action. I told her, I said, the only way I'll do that is buy her your Ruger Blackhawk stainless steel. She wants pearl grips, stainless steel. I'll buy it someday. $357. Oh, it's a ladies' gun, Paul. Come on, give me a break.
No, I'm just saying when you were going to buy it for her, you know.
Right?
I'm sorry, Paul. I can't hear you. What'd you say?
When you going to buy it for her? Okay.
When I get the money.
Okay.
Hopefully while he's still alive.
That's what
y'all might be surprised.
He's got to put it in the will. When I die, buy her this gun.
I can't hear you, Mike. You need to turn that up.
Oh, hey, Jim, I got something in my pocket. Here, let me give it to you. There you go. Oh, good grief.
So there was I was kind of scrolling through the new product center the other day, and I did find this company called MCJ Tools. They're out of Canada, but they're making a new lock die ring set that comes with a nice little wrench. I think you get 6 of them for $35, and they're good quality looking items. So
they had a bunch of other stuff too.
Yeah, like all sorts of different deburring tools. So I'm definitely gonna swing by their booth, check them out. So
there you go.
What was the name again?
MCJ Tools.
MCJ Tools.
They're originally out of Canada, Quebec, Canada. So I've never heard of them before. And let's see, under reloading, they got all sorts of chamfer deburring tools. They got 6-blade chamfer tool, 3-blade chamfer tool.
Do me a favor, go on Amazon and type that in.
Let's see.
I think you should let us know how many times you see the same knife at different booths.
Yeah,
They are on Amazon.
they are on Amazon, right?
A couple of them, not all their stuff.
Not all the
though.
products.
Not all. I just. You
I know, and that's kind of what I have to. I'm going in blind and not 100% sure quality wise what we're going to be, and
Well, that deburring tool right there looks like exactly the one I bought at Cabela's.
yeah.
So I bet you they make it for Cabela's.
wouldn't
Well,
shock
guys,
me.
remember too, this CJ, whatever the name is, MCJ Tools or whatever it is, they may have an Amazon store. They probably have more products in their store than they will on the random ad you're googling up.
Yeah, they got everything on there.
So
I'm just looking at the basement map to see if there's anything in here
Yeah.
that looks interesting.
Go back one, Nick. They're primer tubes there. What do they fit?
small and large.
Yeah, small and large.
But is that for the
They don't tell
Dillon
you.
or is that
They
the
don't tell you.
RCBS?
They don't tell you.
They look like the RCBS.
Yeah, there are CBS.
Guys, I just found an interesting comment from James Pugh. Anyone see Fight Light lever gun in 223?
Yeah. Yeah.
They've had that for a couple years.
That would have to be a magazine fed, right? Probably a rotary magazine.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
It's still
No?
lever. It's still magazine. Still feeds an AR-15 mag. That's the way they're
Oh.
getting around the semi-auto bans in the states.
Okay.
So that's how it's going to be. There, those are going to be potentially 50 state legal rifles. So POF's also making a lever action 9mm carbine.
That looks stupid.
I agree, but especially for the price point.
I know. I got one of the emails I got. Looks like Timber Creek's coming out with a new chassis for bolt action. So not too bad of a price point. Looks like on par, but can't really bring anything up to see. Looks like 700 or clones short action, skeletonized, but didn't give you any particulars.
You have a comment addressed to you, Chris.
No. Nope, I don't think so.
No.
Because I will drive out there and slap him.
I
God,
may
you
have
guys
been
are
born and raised in Maine, but Paul out, I do have standards. That's why I left.
Just for that.
We're starting the year off good, guys. I like this. This is a good show.
By the way, Jim, did you see this shot from Paul out at you?
I don't care.
Okay. So
But I saw it.
anyway, I saw a request in there to see if anybody besides Hornaday is making 6-arc.
Yeah.
So
I know I kind of planned on looking at that because I did build a 6-arc and I had to
isn't
buy
that the wife's
factory
gun?
ammo because you can't find brass. And the only one I heard so far was Hornaday making that brass, but you haven't seen any of it hit the market.
Lapua is not going to make any more cases. So you're not going to get it from them.
Scroll up.
Yeah, you got Peterson is at their limits as far as brass.
Oh, excuse me. Didn't Lapua just simply suspend making brass? Not they're
No,
not
no,
going
no.
out.
No, they stopped making certain ones because
cartridges.
the certain cartridges that not so much not in demand, but that they have to cut back on their production of civilian because the military and they have quite a few military contracts have increased due to world tension.
Well, from my understanding too, Paul, is part of it was over in Europe there was an issue with the zinc as well, from my understanding of
Yeah.
being able to get it in to assist with the process.
Biggest thing is the militaries are looking at.
Mhm.
They want more brass. They
Mhm.
want, and Lapua is one of the largest manufacturers of brass cartridges in the world. So,
So, Jim, to answer your question specifically, the brass that Lapua is stopping is 22 250, 6 Crete, 6.5 by 47, 6.5 Grendel, 6.5 by 284, 260 Remington, and 7 odd 8.
Thank you, Chris.
and 308 in Palma. So,
For those of you who don't know what 308 Palma brass is, it's 308 with a small rifle primer instead of a large.
so don't expect to get any more new cartridges out of Lapua.
And if short term, if you can't find 6 arc brass, the easiest way to make it is, I believe it was Johnny's reloading bench or F class. Yeah, it was
Johnny's reloading.
Yep, he made it out of 6.5 Grendel.
Right.
He found it. He compared 3 different types of trying to resize stuff, and that was basically the easiest. It put the shoulder in the right. He just had to trim the neck for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Just gotta be smart. So if you have a 6.5 Grendel and an arc, make sure you're not trying to put your resized Grendel brass into, or what you did for arc into your Grendel. Probably not gonna have a good.
Wonder if you could fire form that. The Grendel brass into the arc.
Sure. So yeah, the Grendel can be sized down to the what do you call it? Didn't they make a 6mm Grendel for a while? I know the 6.5, but I'm just trying to remember. Was there a 6?
Is there a 6 Grendel?
I was wondering if I thought I remember hearing about that.
Wouldn't surprise me, and somebody wildcatted it and called it a 6 Grendel. And
No,
Oh, Lapua is going to have a lot of brass available, but you're just not going to find the 22 250s, the and the stuff that Chris mentioned there. Peterson will make 308 Palma brass. They'll make the small primered 6.5s and the 6s and that. But they just don't have the production to keep up.
Yeah. And to answer 454 Boris' question, if Lapua is not available, what's a good choice? Peterson, Alpha. Peterson's really good brass. Alpha makes good brass. Atlas Development Group breaks good brass. You won't go wrong with any of those to supplement if you can't get specific Lapua anymore, because they're either not making it or you just can't find it.
6 Grendel is a Wildcat.
Oh, okay.
So it's not a SAMI cartridge. Whereas the 6 arc is.
So I will have to compare the two to see how they look, but all right. I mean, they're probably pretty close. And
well, ammo.com did a comparison between the arc and the 6.5 Grendel. And their honesty answer is it boils down to your intended purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So 6.5's got different, or looks like better bullet weights. So,
Mhm.
excuse me. So the parent case for the 6 ARC is a 5.6 by 39.
Right. Yeah.
What were they doing? They were just drunk and decided to come up with the most oddball cartridge to make into something else.
Well, you can make
mean-
it out of 220 Russian too.
That's also the parent case for the 220 Swift.
Well, let's be honest, Mike. With whoever designing a case, if they have extra brass of a certain lot because it just doesn't move, that could be part of their decision. Let's see what we can make out of this because we have a bunch of it sitting around the factory.
I suppose.
I mean, wouldn't surprise me with the shortages that we have.
Paul, you were going to tell me something about 220 Swift.
The 220 Swift was a 6mm Lee case.
My bad. I thought sure it was came out of that 220 Russian, but
No.
what do I know?
Pendle, the 6 and the 6 and the PPC and the 22 PPC came out of the 220 Russian case.
That's what I was thinking of, I guess.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
So the 6 ARC's got a better BC, obviously. I shouldn't say obviously, but it does, than the 6.5 Grendels.
Well, that's because they can handle the same bullet weight. I mean, BC because you can shoot a long heavy bullet, and in that little case, and it is a little case because you can't use any good powders. I mean, the stick powders to get into it. You're stuck with all ball powders to make that gun work. Temperature and sensitivity and everything else to go with it. I ain't thrilled with the 6 ARC as far as that goes. There's a whole lot of 6mm cartridges that
Screw it. Let's just stuff a 6mm bullet in a 223 case and call it a day.
Yeah, they've done that too. Yeah.
Yeah, they have.
6 by what was it? 6 by 47 or 6 by it's 6 by 47, I believe it is, or 45.
They even stuffed a 6mm bullet in a 30-06 case. Called it 244 Remington.
Right.
Parent case.
I don't know.
244 Remington was the 7 by 57 case, neck down to 6mm,
which is also directive parent of the 30-06. Based on, not direct to say you can't neck them down. I know that.
Yeah, but the
base
7 by 57 was around long before 30-06.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
So I learned something new the other day.
What's that?
I never really bothered to study the difference between an OT3 and an OT6.
Okay.
So basically, a 30-06 is 70 thousandths shorter than a 30-03 case. So the fun thing, if you have a rifle chambered for 30-03, you can shoot 30-06 in it.
But it don't work the other way around.
No.
Yep.
So.
Well,
Besides, where are you going to find some 30-03 ammo, Paul?
Well, you never know. Jim has got some stashed somewhere.
There's a lot of things Jim don't talk about what he's got stashed away. By the way, Mike, if you do run that odd 6 brass in the 03, your brass will stretch. Headspace is the same, but the brass will stretch.
Yeah.
More readily.
Yeah. Just trim it back. It's only 70 thousandths.
That's actually quite a bit because like the 280 Remington cartridge is 70 thousandths longer than the 30-06 case.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just neck down the 06. It's too rough on the lead, the end of the chamber.
Yeah.
In other words, you build a carbon ring up at the end of the chamber there.
Yep.
So you better clean your gun.
Mm-hmm. Direct shot to Idaho. God, just underhanded Paul. Jason Trumbo, that one's it for you. There's your shout out, Jason, you dog.
That's funny. That's what I call fire forming brass.
Yep.
Oh, Jorgen's got one here for you, Mike.
No,
That's for me.
that
Yeah.
one was for Paul. So Jorgen says, "Hey Paul, I believe bolt actions were designed with camming action just to make those pesky odd 3s fit into the odd 6 chamber.
Ooh,
Gotta
I
just
want
slam that puppy
one.
home, baby.
That's right.
Send it.
Who cares about bullet setback?"
Just whack it and bolt forward hard. Right?
If it
We'll
doesn't
get 'em
fit, use a hammer.
That's right.
Yeah, I
Brass
was going to say use a ball peen hammer for that shit.
Yeah, brass one. We use a brass one. That way you don't mark up the you don't
Finish
right.
with the bolt handle.
Yeah.
Or a dead blow.
God, you guys are rough.
So
I think the 03, I mean the odd 3 and the odd 6 had different bullet styles too.
yeah. So the odd 3 had a 220 grain round nose.
Yeah.
Right.
Whereas the odd 6 was 150 grain Spitzer because the Spitzer was invented, and they figured out, oh hey, this works a lot better than that big fat round nose.
I think also completely different shoulder too.
I think that's probably the same.
I thought it
Nope,
was
same
different.
shoulder. Literally, the only difference is
The length of the case.
the length of the neck, not even the case.
Yeah.
The neck's 70 thousandths longer on an odd 3 case. So basically, they just took, to get the odd 6, they just took their odd 3 brass, threw it in their little brass trimmer, and trimmed 70 thousandths off, and said, "Here you go, new cartridge. Have a nice day." So
Yeah.
but yeah, we got a couple of old 1895s in Winchester 1895s. So that's how that came up. We were looking at them, and they all they said was 30 cal for the stamping. So we were trying to figure that out. So because it could have been a 30-40 Craig, or it could have been a 30-03.
Usually the 30-40 Craig said 30 Army
30 US
or
too.
30 US.
30
Yeah,
US.
it all depends on when Winchester made it.
Oh, then the one is a 30-40 Craig, because there's one that is stamped 30 US.
Is it a rimmed? Can you tell if it's a rimmed chamber?
I didn't look. It's got a lever lock on it, so I got to take that off to open the action. We do have one that's a takedown, so I took it apart, but I didn't really look at. That was kind of cool, takedown lever action. So only $3,500. So, but there was they bought a collection of a few lever guns, and then there's also an 1885 low wall that we got in with that collection. That one's only $4,500.
What did they chamber it in?
I don't remember what the 1885 is. The 3 1895s are all 30 cal. So, Paul Loud, according to Ruger, eventually they're going to bring the 336 back. So, Paul Loud wanted to know if Ruger Marlin's going to make anything other than the 1895s. So
I
Um,
believe next. Yeah, you're right. The 336 is next, and supposedly the Model 60, from what I've been hearing, which would be nice to see.
yeah, but I don't know why they would, because why would you bring out something competing with your greatest? So I mean,
Guys,
they don't
go
make a
back-
lever gun, so that's fine. But why would you bring out? So
Well, I'd say save the money on this Model 60 and buy Thompson Center and start making the contender again if I were Ruger. That's just me.
right. Hell, you could make millions off just making barrels.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Did they take over New Gun Arms too? Is that Ruger?
The 1895 is a 336.
I don't know.
Kinda.
Who did that?
So, but I was talking about Winchester 1895s, not Marlin 1895s. So Winchester 1895s are a little different. So,
There's only one Winchester 1895 that I want, but I'm going to spend probably at least $4,000.
yeah, what's that one?
The Russian Contract
Oh,
in 7.62 by 54R.
yeah.
Would love one, but they're not cheap. I think the last one I saw sold for like $4,600.
No 1895 is cheap.
Oh,
I
I
mean,
know
what-
that.
The one we've got is from is a model year 1914, and that's $3,500. So, yeah, there is no such thing as a cheap Winchester 1895.
The assault rifle of the early 1900s.
That's right. So,
I've got an 1895C and 357 that I dearly love.
Marlin.
Marlin 1894C, excuse me.
Yeah. So,
Oh, I was got to go back a little bit, if you don't mind, guys.
Yeah.
Wasn't the caliber 30 US? Isn't that the 1903 03 caliber,
First
30
30,
US should
or
be
was it
30.
30 06? I always thought it was 30 06.
the first 30 cal, the 30 U.S. caliber was the 3040 Craig.
Okay. Somewhere I got the idea it was 30 06.
No, and they've stepped, and they kind of really kept with it. You know, U.S. 30 cal, 30 odd 6. They marked on the box. Okay, until they got to the metric measurements
Did you win that auction?
and 7.62 would be put on things, and the same thing with 5.56 would be put on the other boxes. So
yeah,
Yeah,
30 US or
7.62
30
by
Army was correct.
63, 7.62 by 51.
right,
Yeah, 7.62 by 39.
we didn't mark anything 7.62 by 39.
You're right. Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. We put C4 inside of them. Made tricky dicky ammo.
Yeah, we did do that. You know, put one bad
Now,
round.
30
in every
government is the 30 odd 3.
top. Right.
So,
Thanks for the clarification, gents.
absolutely. So, yeah, I know one of those is definitely stamped 30 US, so that would be a 3040 Craig. I'll have to pop
They
that
like-
apart and make sure it's rimmed.
They like to put that put that 30 US down.
Yeah.
Well, and also if they were early, for instance, it could be like the early 3030, which was the 30 WCF,
Right.
but usually that'd be
Right.
also stamped on there. So
Yeah.
Interesting little sidebar. In 1971, when I went to boot camp for the first time, and only time. We carried 30-40 Craigs,
Really?
training pieces.
Yeah.
They drove steel plugs in the bore, and they welded them shut.
Oh yeah.
Drill rifle.
That's exactly right, Ray.
Yeah. Speaking of, James Pugh said, "Yeah, tell me about it. Same as 338 for 338 win." So, which is true. Speaking of, if anybody's got $400, we have a Ruger American, Cerakoted with a muzzle brake on it in 338 win in the library with a 24-inch barrel.
Yeah.
So that'd be a fun little gun to get. But anyway, so. Oh, it looks like James is getting into loading 35 rem.
There you go.
So
You got the bullets for it.
hey James, look! Oh, looky here! Looky here!
Hold that up again, Mike.
Oh, looky there! Look at that! Oh, look at the projectiles! Oh,
You're evil, Mike.
I try.
I got a bullet mold for 35 rem, 35
Yeah.
caliber. It's got 5 cavities in it, 210 grain.
Nice.
They got holes in each one.
No. Oh, the cavity for the mold. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got 5 holes in it.
As much as Mike's picking on James, I could do that to Nick. Look, Nick, I'm in a free state. Look what I can
Hold
do.
that up. Hold that up.
Hey,
What
what's
you
the
got
little one?
there? What you got there, Mr. Sharp?
What's
I
the
have
little one?
mufflers.
Mufflers? I thought those were oil filters.
What's that little one?
This is the little Thunder Beast 22 takedown
Oh,
that
cool.
just came in yesterday.
What's MSRP on that?
MSRP on that 22 is $425.
That's not bad.
Not bad.
No, and it's steel and, or I should say titanium and stainless.
Ooh,
So
super fancy.
Again, not bad.
and it is user serviceable.
Oh, even better.
They give you the little tool, and it's pretty simple. Just basically, you can kind of see that hexagon will fit on front. You can pop that off, pop off the back the same way. And we'll get the front off.
Watch him not be able to put it back together.
Well, and this is the nice thing. When I got it in, which was pretty neat, is Thunder Beast actually made this Paul Loud proof for putting it back together. They number your baffles 1 through 10, and I don't know how well you can see this. They have a machine mark in there that'll help you align the baffle stack.
Oh, there you go.
Right there.
Paul wrote you a
All the
note
way
there.
down, so it kind of lines it up, and they'll tell you in the instructions. So basically, that first line of engraving, I don't know how well you can kind of see it or not, but they'll tell you that machine mark is to line it up on that first line of the engraving when you restack it. You'll have to take your your shoes off, because I know you're probably missing some digits and toes, Paul Loud. So. Oh wait, no, that's teeth. You're missing teeth up there. That's right.
Oh,
He was a high school shop teacher.
But yeah, I know Bench Addict in the Discord.
I was a high
asking-
school shop teacher.
I know Bench Addict was asking because he was considering one of these, and I'll tell you right now, for the price and what I've seen so far, I haven't had a chance to shoot it, but I've shot their bigger one.
Is it a dry can or a wet can? The 22.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so far I've been pretty impressed. When I got it in, of course, I had to take it right apart because I wanted to see what it looked like and see. Honestly, if I can put it back together, I would expect Paul Loud to, and anybody else.
Oh my God, you're
it's not
lowering
that
yourself to his standards?
I don't know about Paul.
God.
Yeah, I mean, he might have to have some adult supervision. You know, his wife might have to look over his shoulder and slap him. You're doing it wrong, but he'll eventually get it.
If she doesn't know how to slap him, have her get a hold of Marissa. Marissa can give demonstrations.
She is an expert on slapping Jim, that's for sure. She can instruct.
Duck and cover, Jim. Duck and cover.
You bastards are terrible. Don't change. Oh, you're terrible.
We try.
But yeah, so far pretty impressed with it. Like I'm gonna go out and play with it on Friday. That way, when I fly out to shot, it's like, ooh, I can kind of talk about it and be like, okay, go see them at their booth, and just kind of see.
There you go.
Well, and something I found out I didn't even realize, because I know they've got some hard use cans out. Apparently, the 338, because it's the SR version, the secondary retention, that's hard use, full auto rated 338.
Oh, nice. Oh, while you guys are out there, why don't you see if you can pick us up a suppressor sponsor?
Chris can work his magic with Silencer Central. Or we'll have Sharon do that.
Actually, I got a call back on Silencer Central because I know that I'm still curious how they figured out how to do the whole transfer directly to their door.
Because they have a...
I know they got dealers. They've got a one and down in Cody, so they can just, once the paperwork's, but I'm just like, okay. But as a dealer, I was kind of curious, like, do you have I know you got your dealer in Cody, but what can I do as a dealer to refer to different options? Because I've seen their Banish stuff and got good reviews. Prices aren't bad. I just want options for customers to be able to, well, I don't want to spend $2,100. What's an option? Well, here's a $1,400 option type deal or whatever. And they do a dealer referral program. So I just got to call them back and kind of see what that entails and what I got to do at my level.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, we shot them at shot last year, and they were some nice ones.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, because I think what was in a 338 Lapua?
Yep.
Shot? Yeah.
It's probably
that's the one that I was taking a picture of and sending to Chris.
Okay.
What was the lever action?
That was the 4570, and that was awesome. No ear pro needed.
Right?
Oh, makes me want one, but I can't.
You just got to move, Nick. That's
I
all you
know.
Hey, Eddie, you can do that once. No, we're not going to read that comment out loud if you want to know what it was. Go to the
1 hour, 23 minutes, 37 seconds.
Yep. Because it's definitely you could do that once idea.
Oh, hey, for Paul Loud, they with Thunder Beast on that 22, they helped you out, Paul. Here's the instruction manual. It's got pictures.
Ooh, full color.
Yeah.
Did they include crayons with it?
What's that?
Did they include crayons with it?
Only for Marines.
But they even go ahead if the baffles get stuck, and they actually do. They say if you're gonna, when you clean it, do a 50-50 mix of vinegar and peroxide solution, and then they go right into the reassembly. They even show you, give you instructions how to look down with a flashlight to make sure everything's properly aligned. That way, if it's off a little bit because the machine mark was off for whatever reason, you can still double check it.
If
you look
at
baffle strikes.
If you look at that picture, if they included crayons with it, Paul could fill in the colors.
Well, I think they did this for Idaho Rogers because the
Oh,
Marines
okay,
need the
yeah.
crowns and the pretty colors.
Okay.
All right, gents, I gotta go. Have a good night.
Night, Jim.
Good
We'll
night,
see you,
Good night,
Jim.
everyone.
Night,
Good night,
Jim.
sir.
But I will say, so I know Chris Sharp and Mike, you know about this. I'm not going to say who. We have interviews planned.
Mhm.
Yep.
So that one's going to be, it's pretty cool. We have hopefully get some stuff to potentially give out to you guys as well. So we'll see how that goes. And don't know when, hopefully I can get it edited. Well, shouldn't need that much editing because it's going to be a standard interview.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully we'll post that on the YouTube channel next week sometime. I think that's Wednesday. We're planning that. So stay tuned for that.
I know I got questions that
Mhm.
of what I've heard that he's coming out with, or they're coming out with stuff that was on their website that's not, but I've heard it's offered by other people.
And I already have one of his new products sitting over here to review for the channel as well. So, but I'm not going to put any spoilers out there, and you guys can guess if you want. But I know I have that. I'm going to swing by for sure. The Taylor Firearms, who takes a lot of Uberti, Cimarrons.
Nice.
Well, not necessarily Cimarron. I know Uberti, Chiappa, and they kind of a lot of their lever guns and lever or old cowboy actions kind of refinish some up and go look at some of theirs potentially to get. So
Chiappa's got a lever action and a pump action 22 that actually look halfway decent.
mm-hmm.
So if they happen to be at range day, would you shoot them for me?
Chiappa will not be at range day.
Bastards.
Silencer Center will be, so we could talk to them about that, Chris.
Mhm.
I know I'm going to go to the EAA booth at range day and shoot the new Gerson 2311.
Yeah.
That looks nice. Sub $1,000 2011.
I know on the range map, they've finally got it where you can download Nick.
Okay.
So they've got it all. I mean, there's companies I haven't heard of that.
A lot of them are that way.
I'm like, interesting.
Swing by Bishop if they're there, and
They won't be. I talked to them already. They're not going to be there.
She's
I
not
know.
going to be.
Nope, they're not at range day, but they will be at SHOT. So
Okay.
but I know I want to get Chris to shoot it. It's incredible. It's but
Yeah, the grin on Nick's face after he pulled the trigger was pretty awesome.
I was like, yeah.
I know my wife said, well, Mike's not going, but she's heard Nick and Ray. She's like, you still semi-need adult supervision, so that hopefully she's hoping that's what Schrinder will be. I'm like, you haven't listened to Schrinder on the show?
Yeah,
She's just as bad as
there's
the
no
rest of
adult
us.
supervision this year.
No.
I'm like, I make no promises that I'm not coming back with half the show.
Oh.
So Arrow will be there, and
Yeah.
their bolt gun is on the new product list. So we can swing by there for sure.
I mean, I've never heard of Alpha Silencer. They're going to be at range day.
Yeah, I've never heard of them either.
Yep.
So get this, Mike. So that Dark Storm Industries that we
Yeah.
swung by last year, they had the broken extractor, is
Yeah.
making a firearm version with a 12.5-inch barrel and a brace.
Interesting.
I'm
And
like,
they're going to be
okay.
at the range.
Yeah. So if you want to shoot it, get there early because the extractor broke by 11 last year.
Yeah.
So
I can't believe they only brought one.
exactly. Why do you only bring one gun?
Well, Faxon's going to be out at the range. I wonder what they're going to be bringing.
8.6.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Re-releasing it.
Trying to figure out a way to get everybody to want to buy it because it's.
I think there's only still one company. Was it Guerrilla Munitions or something like that that's only making the ammo right now?
Uh-huh. Let's see who else.
So, James says, anyone here, Remington or Henry, doing the new straight wall in 35 cal, the 360 Buckhammer? So, if you guys can check on that.
Henry, okay. I didn't know they were. I've heard of the cartridge. I just didn't know.
That's the first time I've heard of the 360
Anybody
book
was?
hammer.
I've seen on some of the other chats. I've
Must
been
be
on the last
somebody's
couple of weeks.
competition to the 350.
Yeah, 350. Probably the 350 Legends competition. If it's a
Yeah.
straight wall, I would assume.
Yeah. Interesting.
I am gonna go by Palmetto.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, speaking of Palmetto, if you're interested in one of the 5.7 rocks, they're really reasonable. And the other thing is they sell the upper and the lower separate. So
I'm looking at one of their daggers, their Glock clones,
yeah, those
for the
things are nice.
price. For the price point, especially.
We've actually had a couple come through and I've dry fired them and yeah. So
They take Glock mags,
Mm-hmm.
do they?
yeah.
I'm trying to see who else. Inkstead will be there, so they'll have their little 9mm ARs. Christensen Arms will be there, so they'll be up on the long range. Will be nice to shoot that.
Yeah. Eddie Davenport wants you to check out the Avidity Arms PD-10. That's Rob Pincus's gun.
I am gonna check that out. I watched Ghost Tactical. Him and I have been kind of talking. I'm gonna meet up with him for sure.
Cool.
That is one I am gonna go look at. I know we're gonna be going to the media center each morning, probably for breakfast potentially. So
Nice.
But yeah, we'll definitely check out. What was that instead?
Inkstead's got something.
I can find it that way. How about this way? What it is? How do you type that?
Yeah, they're going to be at range day. Extend Arms.
I am not seeing that Avidity one from Rob Pincus at range day,
Probably
which kind
not.
of shocks me. I can get a hold of Ghost. He might know if it's gonna be at a certain booth by chance.
Yeah.
But Desert Tech, of course, got to go shoot
Mhm.
the expensive stuff that most of us can't afford.
Right.
DPMS, I'm interested to see what they have this year. If probably the same stuff they had last year.
Yeah.
But
Be my guess.
yeah, H&R will be there, but they'll be
Arkin's not at range day, are they?
no. They're
I didn't
just
see 'em.
scopes.
Arc and
No, they'll be-
Optics.
Yeah.
I guess they're supposed to be doing some pretty good stuff. So
Because I think Paul, don't you have an Arkin?
Yeah.
excuse me.
I've been debating on one to replace all my 6.5.
Well, they came out with a new lightweight too, so
I saw that.
you know it's in 30 millimeter
So
instead
no,
of
instead of 34. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I will swim by Bagara. They're supposed to have some lightweight rifles this year. Just to
Yeah,
shoot.
I saw a couple of their releases. I think there's some videos on YouTube about them as well from Bergar.
I think, what is it? Their HMR that's actually pretty light. I want to say.
No, their HMR is not light. That's what I picked up for Stacy. And I'll tell you right now, that thing is not light. It's not as heavy as some of the stuff I carry hunting because I'm just stupid like that. But I think it's their wilderness stuff is more lighter weight.
That ZQI is interesting.
Well, they're owned
Yeah,
by
well,
Zenith.
the HMR compared to some of the other rifles in the class, it's lighter.
Yeah. I mean, if you're comparing that to say something like the Ruger Precision, oh yeah, it's
Even the
definitely lighter
Hell's
than that.
Canyon.
Yeah.
If you go with the Hell's Canyon or the Winchester version with that same kind of pistol grip stock,
Mhm.
the HMR is a lot lighter.
Now, one company that's going to be at Range Day, I'm not real sure about what they do, is the Xeon Optics, AXEON. I haven't really heard of them.
Oh, Axion.
Yeah, Axion. I'm not real
I've
familiar with
seen
them.
that name before.
I've heard the name, but I just haven't.
They make scopes. Yeah.
So 6-pack said the 3060 Buckhammer is a 30-30 case cut back and blown out, delivers 35 rem performance.
357 maximum. Okay.
Yeah. Well, you know, they found out how big of a success the 350 Legend had, so now you got to have somebody else take a shot at it. So
357 maximum. I mean, that's all it is. Just, make the case a little longer. Now you're going to have to, back and forth on it.
Yep.
We did the same thing with 357 Harriet.
Yep.
So.
Oh yeah.
So I know I'm probably going to go by the Shadow Systems booth as well. I always wanted to shoot their Glock copies. They're always good
I
looking
actually
guns.
took one of those in for a transfer. It's actually, for the price point, it's not bad.
Mhm.
They're on
I know
expert
Paul's
plates.
going to say it's a staple gun. Staple gun's a staple gun. But compared to what you're paying for other companies for a very similar thing, it functioned pretty well. I didn't obviously get a chance to go shoot it, but I've talked to the guy at the transfer, and he says that he likes it for the price point.
Yeah.
And he actually got it from one of their dealer reps. And of course, the dealer rep needed a local person to transfer. So I know this guy's father, and he's like, "Oh," and the guy came out, and I talked to him. He was here at the house for 45 minutes. And he covers, what does he cover? Wyoming, Montana, South Dakota, and some of Colorado. So he's all over the place. And he moved up from Texas because they offered him the opportunity. He wanted to get out of the San Antonio area. So
I
he's
don't blame
now
him.
in. No. I was like, well, basically everybody that lives in San Antonio, we have less people in Wyoming than that.
Yeah. We sell quite a few of them through Cabela's. So. But I mean, I've dry fired them there,
Mhm.
but they're not bad. So I don't know. The price point's out of my range, and if I was going to do that, I'd probably just buy something cheaper or build a polymer 80 and trick it out. But
Well, and what this guy got for a price on it from that dealer or their distributor dealer, whatever you want to call them directly, it was his demo, one of his many demos, and he was told to offload the demos for the new models.
Mhm.
So I obviously when he gave me the FFL and the invoice so I could do my side of the paperwork to get it transferred over to this guy, he forgot to white out one of the lines of what he paid for it. And
Mhm.
that was actually lower than my dealer price. I was like,
Nice.
you got a hell of a deal, dude.
Yeah, I know I'm also going to swing by the, of course, one of our channel sponsors, the Primary Arms booth. I know they've
Yep.
been releasing a ton of new stuff this week.
Yeah, they just released I think it was a new mount
Mm-hmm.
with a new cap for adding red dot.
Yeah, I know they got the new GLX RS15. They got a new micro prism 5x zoom, a new 6-power magnifier to check out. Binoculars. They're doing some new binoculars, which they haven't done binoculars in quite a while. A couple 1x, a 3x18, and then a 4.5 to 27. So a ton of new stuff. So
Is anybody making a SIG 365 clone?
Zev is.
Is that
Mhm.
is?
mm-hmm.
That's it. but I wouldn't buy anything from Zev. That's pointless.
So you guys are all talking staple guns now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What about now the changeover to everybody going to a metal staple gun?
Well, not everybody is. Just Smith and Wesson.
Oh, Canic.
Well,
Well,
yeah,
and
can
honestly, that started. You could go. I think Walther was one of the first ones that, with their
Sure.
competition, went from the polymer to steel frame. Then Smith jumped on it. Canic.
Yeah.
Sig
You know.
with the P320.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
It's trying to get all the 1911 owners to
Yeah.
buy something from this century instead of last century.
Well, and I've got a customer that he is a Canic fanatic, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got every model that has come out, except for the new weird, funky ones that look like, tropical. He's like, no, I'm not doing that. But he's asked me to try to get both of the new steel frame ones for him.
Yeah.
And of course, no, you call any distributor like, well, we got them on order. We can't tell you when they're going to, because we don't know.
Yep.
I was like, well, send me one of each when you get it.
Yeah, it's supposed to be first quarter, but
yeah. Because he when I was talking to him, he's like, "You're going to SHOT?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "If Canic's there, swing by. Whatever new, pick me one up of each." I was like, "Okay."
Nice.
I was like, then I was talking to his wife too, and she's like, "Make that 2," because she likes them as well.
Yeah.
I was like, "No problem.
Well,
you're paying for them. I'll get whatever you want."
Well,
everybody I've talked to that shot a can, I can't believe how good the trigger is out of the box.
Yeah. Well, and he brought one in to the shop to have me Cerakote because he wanted something different, and we actually color matched to his Jeep. We did a tangerine pearl on it.
Oh, cool!
Kind of a metallic look. I'll post a picture. I think I may have posted it. I can't remember. And it was damn near close to his Jeep. And that was the first time I actually got to play with a Canic hands-on. And I was, for a Turkish pistol, I was impressed with the trigger. And, he brought the whole case. And what you get for that line, you get, the magwells, the different grips, all that stuff. And I was like, let me look.
Yeah, if you get the SFX, you get.
Wow. I was like, for the price, I was like, you get a lot.
Yeah, the SFX, I think it's $600-700 for it now.
Yeah.
You get magwells, back straps, optics ready with the optics plates.
Yep.
Right.
The adapter plates.
I think 3 mags.
Yeah.
3 or 4 mags, something like that.
3 18-round mags.
Yeah.
Well, they're bumping up on the metal ones to 20s. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, yeah, one of the SF series competition ones comes with 20 or 21 round mags. So
right.
But
which Nick probably can't own that in Illinois because it's 20 round mag.
That's going to get kicked down real quick. I mean, just New Jersey just passed theirs. A month ago?
Void cards are going to go away.
Mm-hmm. It's all going. I don't want to go anywhere, but it ain't going nowhere.
But
it's still just frustrating. I know as we talked that even though the Supreme Court ruled how they ruled, you still got states that are like, I don't care. We're still going to try this and let it go to court. Well, you're wasting taxpayer money because you're going to probably get it thrown out.
They're doing this for a reason. Okay. They're doing it because of what happened in Highland Park. All right. If it happened in Chicago, they wouldn't care. But they're doing it because of Highland Park.
Highland Park's got money.
There's a funny thing about that. Technically, he should never had a FOIA card. State police screwed themselves. They screwed it all up.
Yep.
Well, that's the second time that's happened in many years.
The other one was in Aurora. The other one was
exactly.
Okay. But I'm just telling you, the only reason why it's happening is because a bunch of people, white people, got together and argued about this. if it would have happened in Chicago, wouldn't have been nothing.
Yeah. It's happening every day anyway in Chicago, and they just don't want to say anything about it. But that's a different tangent. Like, I don't know if you probably don't pay attention anymore, Paul, since you're out of state. Within 4 days, they changed the bill number 3 times.
I didn't pay attention to it. I'm here in Illinois right now. That's where I'm at.
But that's what I can't understand. It's like, why are we changing the bill number 3 times?
That's Illinois politics.
But
they do that all the time.
They do it all the time.
So you can't track it automatically online?
Well, no, the thing is that Illinois has got a witness slip, okay?
Mhm.
And you go in there and you fill out, a yes or a no, and you give your reasons why it shouldn't happen. Well, so in other words, when they get too many witness slips against the bill, they change the
bill number.
Right. And now they go, well, there's only 35 people responded to the witness slips. Well, everybody else still must not care about it.
And you vote on it at 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
It's just like the Congress, U.S. Congress, said, okay, we're going to reinstate the 72-hour rule that Nancy Pelosi had kicked out. All right. In other words, you have to wait 72 hours in order for a bill to be voted on, because people have to read it. You can't take a 4,000-page bill and throw it at everybody and say, we're voting on it right now.
Yeah.
It's lawyers.
Right. No, princes and princesses. Okay. All right. We got a king as a governor, and we got princes and princesses as our representatives and our senators. And the same thing goes with the United States.
Mm-hmm.
We got
ruling class,
a king who sits down, and the ruling class. Exactly. Okay. And we cannot get rid of them.
Term limits. We need term limits.
No, we need people to sit down and say, you're not doing the job, and get out.
Yeah.
Really, that's how it was, supposed to be. You're supposed to sit down and say, that's it. And I'm sorry I went off on this tangent.
It's okay.
That's why I'm glad SHOT Show's next week, because I can get by this week listening to all this crap that they're trying to push, but then next week it's gone out of the mind for that week, and I can just relax.
I don't care one way or the other about Illinois, what they do in that, other than my daughter lives here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting there saying to her, I said, do not, I gave you an AR, do not register it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There's 3.1 million FOI cards in the state of Illinois.
Right.
Say 80% have something that is on that list.
Yeah.
So 2 million roughly, maybe a little more, a little less. You maybe 10% at most register. So you have another 1.2 to 1.4 million felons already. Not going to happen.
Yeah.
So.
What is it? Is it Bailey? A senator or representative?
Bailey senator.
He said he's not going to comply.
Yeah. Our state, one of our big state senators that was running for governor, said he ain't complying.
You have a prosecutor and a sheriff that says he's not going to.
Most counties aren't going to do it. Yeah. We got all around us sanctuary counties.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, but you're going to sit down and you're going to get, DuPage, Will, Cook, Lake,
St. Clair down in East St. Louis.
Right. McHenry.
Champaign. Yeah. All your major ones.
All your major ones.
Every state's got the same issues in the big towns. So.
Yep. So the blue areas.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because the Illinois State Sheriff Association didn't even vote for it.
Yeah.
They voted against it, and the only sheriff that went for it was the elected one in Cook County.
Shocker.
Okay. Yeah, really. So, all right. So we've gone through the staple guns, okay, that we're going to see. And now we got the new metal ones. Now, is Gaston going to turn over in his grave to get a metal
no.
a metal staple gun?
Nope.
We might be seeing a Glock AR at SHOT.
I'm wondering, is that going to be there?
That'll be interesting.
That
allegedly, Yeah,
Allegedly, that will be
allegedly,
there.
it's actually going to be a reality finally.
You
Allegedly,
mean they're actually going to release something that is new?
so
Okay.
I've heard rumblings from some of our Glock distributor or our Glock person that comes to the store. I
Yeah.
ran into him one night. So he told me the AR, of course, is true. He's told me firsthand. And he told me they're working on a 9mm carbine. That is not like the P or the where it feeds like a Keltec. It's not like that. He says it's not like through a pistol grip. It's not like AR design. He was telling me they're
Similar
working
to
on
the Ruger PC?
Similar, not yeah, it's kind of like that, but it's not.
Share
It's,
the same mag.
it's a different design in general, so it'll be interesting. Well, being Gadsden's, what is he, 96, 97? However old he is, old as stone, basically. His wife's, I think, 45.
Good for him.
She's going to be running the company. Different generation, hopefully has different ideas. And that's why I was hearing the same thing about the Gen 6 being the modular chassis system. So, but it'll be interesting.
When you guys are there, you have to make sure that you go ask Frankfurt Arsenal when the vaporware is going to hit the rest of the people.
Funny thing about that, last year they had their own named booth. This year there's no Frankfurt Arsenal booth. So I'm wondering, are they going to be in the same booth as American brand products? I would assume, like how all the other conglomerate groups do it. I would assume that's what it's going to be because I got to go in there and talk to Bog about their tripod anyway. So, but if that's the case, that tells you they're not bringing nowhere near as much stuff. But it'll be interesting. So,
Well, I know just looking at the SHOT app for new firearms, it looks like, just scrolling down, there is going to be a conversion kit from Advantage Arms coming out for Glock, P365, and Hellcat 22 long rifle conversion.
Nice.
So that'll be interesting for people because most people have something like that. Some shotguns, mini suppressor from Tyon. Keltec's looks like Keltec's got a couple new things coming out.
Sweet, more vaporware.
Yeah.
yeah, that's like one of the only things I'd ever wanted to buy from Keltec. They never truly made.
Aero Precision's got their Lathar 30, which is one of their suppressors. I don't know why they have it listed as new because it's out and they kind of debuted all that stuff last year.
Well, the problem is it wasn't out last year. I mean, they didn't make it. They said it was second quarter or third quarter they were going to have it. Okay, didn't happen. So, and I know they've been busy making ARs. Okay, they are probably the largest AR manufacturer as far as lowers and uppers, in the United States. They the only people that are bigger than them is FN. So
It looks like another company's getting in on the 1911. Voodoo Gunworks is coming out with a 1911.
there we go. Okay, somebody that'll be an expensive one.
Yeah, I mean they make good stuff, so I'm kind of curious. But then they do have the Zenk 357 listed as well. And Arrow does have their Solus bolt action rifle system listed.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Hey,
we'll
Mike,
see.
that thing from Chiapa, is that little Badger TDX thing that it like takes apart and puts in a tube? Is that one thing you were talking about?
No.
Okay. I saw that.
No, this is they actually have the pump they call a gallery gun, and I don't remember what they call the lever action. So, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that Gerson double stack is.
Yeah, that one's on my list for sure to shoot. I'll shoot that.
Gerson makes some decent stuff.
Yeah, they're high powers, especially if somebody's wanting a high power sub $700, especially.
I've heard they actually perform better than the Springfield SA-35s.
That doesn't shock me.
So
As I have to laugh. Springfield technically isn't a firearms manufacturer because they import and then they contract out to BCM.
Well, what about their 1911 Duo?
I guarantee if somebody makes that for them, I wouldn't shock me. They're 1911s. It would not shock me because what is besides maybe the M1A. Maybe they used to make the 1911s. I know that. We've gotten our hands on some of them recently. We have not gotten a Prodigy, but other than that, they're 1911s. Nothing new is impressing me. Super gritty action, super gritty triggers.
I can fix triggers. That's not a problem.
1,000 trigger or 1,000 round trigger job.
But
most triggers, as far as a 1911 go, don't last much more than 5,000 rounds. Just so you know, I mean, they get to be tweaked after that.
mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just, my experience in shooting competition with a 1911. 5,000 rounds, and you got to, if you want a good 2.5 to 3 pound trigger. Okay, if you want a 5 pounder, you can go years with it.
I'm looking for either like bismuth or tungsten or something like that for loading shot shells.
Tungsten is expensive.
Mm-hmm.
All of it's expensive.
Bismuth is not as expensive as tungsten.
No. So
you're looking for some. Okay.
So I don't know. See what you get. See if there's anybody there that's doing that. So
how much you looking for, Mike?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
That's probably going to be something like in the basement. More than likely, you'll find a small mom and pop company that's starting to do like tungsten and bismuth. That's where I would think I might see it, but it's hard to say. And there is something interesting. I'm going to be interested to see what it is. So over in Caesar's Forum, which is the new building,
yep.
Supposedly they're having a marketplace that you can buy like accessories, stuff like that. I'm interested to see what it is, what it's all about. I was on another panel a while back and heard about it. I'm like, interesting. It's like, I don't think you can buy firearms there, but
no,
who knows what we're going to have for that.
Is this
you can buy a firearm there. It's not a problem.
Not at SHOTshow.
Yeah, but the ATF is going to be there while you're buying it, right? Remember the what was it, about 5 years ago? 5 years ago, the a lot of the display units went away, kind of disappeared.
Well, I know they had a problem with some being stolen.
Right. Yeah. About 5 years ago, right? If I remember right.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Shannon Watts is retiring. So,
what was the name of that shot supplier that's going to be there?
AgScan.
AgScan.
But they're in the supplier showcase, which I don't believe we can go into as media. I don't know though.
You have access to everywhere.
Okay. Well, I think the reason why I don't know if we would have time for the supplier showcase because it runs all day Monday and half of the day Tuesday.
Yeah.
So you're pretty much just Tuesday and you're wasting one of your days on the main floor. So
My feet are killing me by the end of the second day, so
hmm
we're scooter rentals.
Just
Oh,
Rob
Hey,
said,
Mike, you were saying you were looking for somebody with a tungsten ally shot.
hmm
Uh,
I see
Axton
somebody said Rotom.
International is a supply company. They're providing it.
Who?
Agston is
Axton, that's it.
yeah, that's one we found.
And they advertise tungsten shot.
What was it? They said tungsten lead-free shot.
Yeah.
So
put it in the private chat, Mike, for you.
All right.
Also found some on Prairie Wind decoys.
Interesting. So, well, I suppose we should probably wrap this puppy up. So, swinging over to Primary Arms right now, 12% off. Site-wide code is save12. The current FRN thing is if you buy the Primary Arms GLX 1-6 by 24 for Sparkle Plane, you get a cantilever mount for free. So use code FRN, coupon code FRN. So make sure you swing over to Patriot Patch Company, patriotpatch.co. Here's the new patch as we were showing off earlier. Not only do they make patches, they make other stuff too. So check them out. And remember, Primary Arms carries a whole bunch of stuff up to and including Class 3 items. So there you go. So you all have a blast at SHOT Show. Sorry, I'm not going to be there. We are looking at being at our NRA, though, at Indy, April 14th through 16th. So maybe we can plan some sort of get-together.
That's close by me. So
yeah,
Yeah.
what are we 3.5 hours from there? So yeah,
So-
maybe we can do a house rental or something. Get like an Airbnb or something.
Jim's talking about coming up. I don't know if anybody else is coming or not because everybody else is kind of a trip. So
It's almost 19-hour drive for me.
yeah.
drop in a bucket.
Trenda could drive here, then drive
That's
to
true.
this.
Trying to good, yeah.
So
I say that. That's only one day of work, basically.
there you go.
I can work enough overtime for that.
Heck, we went to Dallas on a weekend. That
You
was
mean
13-hour drive.
I'd have
We
to
drove
renew my
down to
NRA
Dallas and
membership.
back on a weekend.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
What's
one
that?
year.
I'd have to renew my NRA membership.
That's what I said too. You know?
Just do a 1 year.
Do 1 year.
Yeah.
That's all I would
yeah.
do.
So
While you're there, you do a 1 year. When you
Yeah.
walk,
when
Yeah.
you-
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, do it while you're there, and then you get the
Yeah.
discounted rate.
Now,
Right.
could we do media?
What would you gain?
I just didn't know if that would do.
I don't think so.
Media. Okay, I just didn't know.
Anyone going to the Great Outdoor Show in Pennsylvania that's coming up in February? I am not.
Nope.
So I don't think anybody from the podcast is. So it's not really, from my understanding from talking to Shauna and the guys when they went, there's not really any sort of reloading components to that show. It's all hunting and fishing and so. But anyway. So that's all that is. If you guys and gals come up with anything else you want them to try and check out, you can tag them in the Facebook or the Discord.
Yeah, no, I got access to Facebook and Discord. I think we need to get Chris.
Chris
Mike
is set up with
Jeremy
Facebook.
with
now.
Facebook, but not Discord yet.
Okay, we'll get that. I don't know about Shrenda. We'll get it all figured out though.
So yeah, Sharenda's got admin rights to the podcast group.
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause I did a post today just reminding everybody to either chime in on that Facebook post or send an email to us.
Yep, I saw that. Yep.
Yep.
So
And we are going to be on the podcast next week, right?
that is the plan.
Okay.
Yep.
In the room. So,
So,
now you won't get 4 people all on one
No,
time,
that's
but
fine.
hey, we'll be there.
I'll have my laptop so I can turn it around and we can be sitting there staring at each other in the same room. And
yeah, the Wi-Fi is pretty good. You should probably be able to run too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hopefully
you
we
can
have a
send
good
an
view.
email to. What's that?
Hopefully we have a good view. We'll see.
Yeah.
What's it matter?
That's true. It don't matter, but
you're going to
hey,
be staring at candy and looking for brandy and as well anyway. So
we'll see.
Oh, crikey.
you got to be careful because, Nick's younger than me. He's going to, like, you listen to your old veteran bastard, wham, hit me in the hip and I'm down.
I knew a new weak spot, so
Oh, crikey. Anyway, remember, you need to be walking around most of the week, so wait till Friday.
I won't see Sharp on Friday. He leaves Friday.
Oh, yeah. So,
Well, we're going to Antique Arms on Friday.
Yeah,
so.
that's where we're hitting up on Friday.
sweet. So, if you want to get a hold of us, you can reach out, reloading podcast at firearmsradio.net. You can text or leave voicemail 608-467-0308. You can find us on Facebook, MeWe, Instagram, and Discord. And on that note, folks, keep your brass shiny.
Jump on the Mill Serp short bus.
Teach them to shoot and reload when they're young.
Shoot smarter, not harder.
Grandpa said, don't listen to your mama. Violence does solve problems, guys. Okay? No. And then, as Jim would say, squeeze that trigger.
Also, remember, support Second Amendment and support Second Amendment advocacy groups like Second Amendment Foundation. They've got a lot of court cases across the country, so they definitely need our support. And support your local groups. They do good. So, but get involved. And if you're struggling, there's people out there to help. 988 or 1-800-273-8255. Reach out, give them a shout. So, thanks all. Good night.
Goodbye.
Good night, all.